Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Maddesen. I hope everybody's quarantine is going okay and everybody is safe and healthy. I hope that online learning is going well for you. I'm here to remind you that it is very important to stay creative during these times, as well as staying active and keeping your studies up. So I'm back with more art videos. So it's getting colder and we might start seeing snow here soon. We don't know. So I am starting to get inspired by winter coming, and I wanted to share some fun art projects with you. So today we're going to be making one of these, a nice picture of some snowy trees in the moonlight on a snowbank. So all you're going to need for this project are some markers. I'm using brown, blue, and this is actually a very dark navy blue. It's not black. You don't need black for this one. You're going to need some white paint. You're going to need a glue stick, a paintbrush. Mine's got something stuck to it. There you go. And then you're going to need a jar of water. All right, and let's get started. So I forgot to mention that you also need 2 pieces of paper for this. Just one regular white piece of paper. I'm using cardstock because it's a little more durable. If you have it, great. If you don't, regular computer paper works fine too. Drawing paper, whatever you got. And then you also need a piece of scrap paper. Now you can see mine already has some color on it. I'm going to show you what I did for this. So we're going to start on this paper here. The first thing you're going to do is you are going to take your brown marker and you're just going to kind of color in wherever you want. It can be any which way, doesn't matter. This is how I made what you see on the paper. Now you want to color up kind of towards the top so that it can be as tall as you want it. We can always make things shorter, but we can't really make things taller. So, after you do that, you're just going to take your paintbrush with some water on it, and you're just going to start putting water on that marker, and you can see how the color kind of blends out onto the paper. Now, it's okay if you still have some of these lines. I did too, and you can see how nicely it dried. It just looks very like textured, and we want that because we're making trees here, and trees are not perfect. Trees have lots of texture and patterns in them, so it is okay if yours do too. Getting it all the way down to the bottom. Okay, and then we let it dry. Now while your trees are drying, what you can do is start on your white paper, your regular size paper here, and you are going to take your blue marker and you're going to draw your snowbank. You can draw it however you want. Just make it kind of more towards the top than the middle. And then you're going to draw your circle for your moon. And what comes next is we're going to take our blues. You can use a couple different blues like I am. You can use one blue. Doesn't matter. You can start coloring this in. It helps if you color in the sky more fully than you do the trees, because we want to make sure that that background is nice and filled in. All right, I'm going to do that. So you can see I've got my sky all filled in. Now it's not perfectly filled in. You don't have to do that, but it's definitely more filled in than we did with the trees. So once you do that, you guessed it, we're gonna paint it with the water. So now our tree paper is dry. So what we're gonna do next is we are just going to start ripping strips to be our trees. We want what's called a deckled edge, which is what you see here, where it's not perfect, it's ripped. We're gonna see a little bit of white from the paper when we rip it, like this up here, and that is okay, that's what we want. So here we go. So now we've got all our strips ripped and laid out. I've kind of arranged them how I want to. Some of them are a little curly, but that's okay. You're going to glue them down and that won't be a problem. Now I've got some thicker ones. I've got some skinnier ones. You want some variety because no forest is perfect, and we're gonna do like foreground, middle ground, background. And what that means is that some things are going to be bigger and closer, some things are gonna be kind of medium and in the middle, and then other things are going to be smaller and further away. So we're gonna end up having our trees kind of go off the top of the paper once we glue them all down, but that's all right because you can always go back through with scissors when you're done to trim them up to the margins of the paper, and it'll look great. So I'm gonna glue these down and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I have my trees glued down now. I did 5 trees. You can do however many you want, but you need at least 3. So that's because you want to have one in the foreground, one in the middle ground, and one in the background. So now what we're going to do is we are going to put the shadows of the trees onto the snow because we have the moon here, which is our light source. So it's casting light in this direction, which means that our shadows are going to go this direction behind the trees. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to take our brown marker again, and we are just going to start by making like a small kind of directional indicator that you want your shadows to go. Now for this one, don't forget that you have to bring it over this way. Same thing with this one here, because it's going to go behind this tree as well. So when you do that, you want it like that as well, okay? You do that for all of your trees. Again, remember, your lines don't have to be perfect. Okay, now once you've done that, you're going to want to shade a little bit with your brown, but not the whole way, because we don't want our shadows to be as dark as our trees. We want them to be a little bit lighter because they're just supposed to be a little bit transparent on the snow. Okay, like that. And now all you're going to do is take your water on your paintbrush again, and you're just going to blend it out. Bring it all the way up to the tree. And remember, these lines go away more once you're dry, so don't worry too much if you have some of these lines left. And you want to bring it all the way to the other side of the tree like that. All right. And I'll show you this when it's all done. Okay, so now my shadows are dry as well. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add the snow. So you're going to take the end of a paintbrush now. I chose a different paintbrush because it's a little bigger. You can use the same paintbrush that you were using. It all just depends on the size that you want to do this. You're going to dip the end of your paintbrush into your white paint, and then you're just going to dot on your paper to make your snowflakes. Like that, okay? I'll show you this when it's all done. All right, and I've got all my snowflakes down. I went a little crazy with my snowflakes. I really wanted it to be a very snowy night in my picture. So now all that's left to do is to trim up your trees on the top here, and then you'll have a beautiful, beautiful picture. And there you have it, a beautiful snowy night. So, beautiful job, guys. I can't wait to see what you've made. Please, 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 if you decide to do this project, drop your pictures of your projects in the comments below. Post them to the Boys and Girls Club page by tagging the Boys and Girls Club. You know the drill. And as always, have fun, stay safe, and stay creative. Bye, guys.